Hi guys, how are you doing today? So, as promised, today will be somewhat longer. Today is day 4 of 365. Um, sorry, I sound really loud to myself, so I'm hoping that I don't sound super soft to y'all. I'll have to play back and see how this goes. So, anywho, how are you doing? We're starting a new calendar year. Um, how's your energy feeling? Mine has been yesterday and today really good, really high. Um, been pretty creative and open to doing the things of life. Tomorrow is going to be the first Monday back at work and all of the things. And I'm excited for all of them because I feel I've had a significant enough break that it isn't going to disrupt. I've rested well. I've rested well. I have spent time with people I cared about. I've poured into myself. I've allowed others to pour into me. And in the crazy world that we live in right now, I feel like that is my biggest takeaway from 2025. There were plenty of times when I wasn't really sure what, who, what, when, where, how I was going to maintain my sanity and what maintaining my sanity meant for me. Um, Yet here I am, and in that here I am, it's interesting because I've learned some of the best ways for me to stay grounded in who I am, who I want to be in the world, are just doing simple things, little things. Spending time with people that you love, spending time with people who pour into you. I went to go see my friend Jackie today, who did my hair. Super excited about such. And we laughed the entire time we were together. And that's one of the things that I love about her. We're going to check in with each other. And we're going to be brutally honest as we're doing the check in. And we're going to be like, girl, you deserve. And as we say, girl, you deserve, you know what else we're going to do? We're going to laugh at ourselves for the ways that we may have shown up that didn't support the you deserve that we actually do deserve. We talk about our children and our aspirations, our struggles. I'm so grateful. This year, well, in 2025, there were 4 women who physically, spiritually, emotionally showed up for me. I had other people who showed up for me too. So I have a joke that don't ask me who my best friend is because all of my friends are my best friends. I am more of an introvert than an extrovert most of the time. Yet, when I'm an extrovert, I'm an extrovert. Like, I mean, here, I'm there. There's no in between. And so from that, um, they each bring out something different in me. And they each support a different part of me. And they all have that, girl, what are you talking about? Don't you know you're the mom? Don't you know? Do you not know who you are? And in the event you don't remember who you are, let me remind you. And they'll just start. And I'll be like, oh my gosh, I forgot about that. Yeah, you forgot about that. You lived. And you didn't just live, you thrived. And so that is one of the biggest things about today that I wanted to say. 2025 was not easy for everyone. It wasn't easy for me either, yet, in looking back, the hard that I experienced was an emotional hard. It was reconciling the fact that what I felt I needed outside of myself, I didn't actually need. Not only did I not actually need it, I actually had it within me. And so I was freely giving it away and giving other people power in that, like, oh, I don't feel safe. Or, oh, you make me feel safe. Or, oh. I have found that I have the ability to feel safe when I actually acknowledge that my intuition is not that far off. Well, forget about that far off. My intuition doesn't, she loves me. She is me. Those higher than the moon, take me to the moon, um, aspirations that I have, the fears that, the fears that I have, they all coexist. And in that coexisting, still, my intuition speaks through very clearly. And that's because I am loved. And that's the hardest thing to acknowledge. Like, you're loved. And taking it to a spiritual place, if we're made in the image of God, then we're perfect in our mate, in the way that we're made. And so spending time with I love the strength of my thighs. I don't always love the shape of them. Um, I'm perfectly and wonderfully made because I'm made in the image of God. And so all the things, all the things are within our control. And so I'm looking at my life and I'm looking at the things that I need to do, and how I need to be more of myself. What I've been doing has been good to get me here. There's many things that I have that I am proud of now. If I actually slow down and look back on it, like where I started from, I didn't start from a homeless shelter yet. I was in a homeless shelter with my two sons, and coming from that, we've had a blessed life. That may have been one of my lowest points, or that may have been my lowest point. Yet, who that woman was, I've lived all of her dreams in the last, I think, 14 years. Myself and my sons have lived those dreams. And so, it's time for me to live dreams that are not out of survival, yet to live dreams that are wildly ambitious and wildly in alignment with the purpose that little Shayla had, the vision that little Shayla had. I'm returning to school. I'm proud of myself for returning to school, because it's a pain in the butt. As exciting as it is to get to the next step, it's a pain in the freaking butt. And let me pause as I have the string queens. I decided to play the string queens in the back because I discovered them in the last few months and I absolutely love them. And I listened to this like 4 times last night. And here I am again, like, oh my gosh. Um, they're playing Human Nature by Michael Jackson right now. And it's just so, so timely. To say why? Tell them that it's human nature. Why? I love when the instruments sing, because a talented musician makes a instrument sing. It's not it's not just music, it's an instrument singing. And to have a beautiful year, a beautiful 2026, I'm going to enjoy more of instrument singing in my space. So, anywho, back on. And now we were at Erica Badu. Craziness. Anyway, check out the String Queens when you get a chance. So, anyway, all of that. During this application process, I've been putting in. I wrote an essay, and I did an interview, and I spoke something that made me want to vomit out in regards to what I would like to do and my vision. And I prayed, and I was like, hey, angels, ancestors, spirit guides, God. This makes me want to throw up. And I've never spoken something that made me want to throw up. Everything had very actionable steps in my life up until this point. Was it just me pulling from the air to rise to the occasion? Or is it something that's real to me? Or is it something that's real for me? And I dreamt of myself as a little girl. I was reminded, it was a dream, yet it was a reminder that as a little girl, I used to draw buildings like what I spoke during this interview. And so I've spent, my oldest is 20, he'll be 21 this year. So 21, 22 years. Well, this year, 22 years. Because I had him so young, I never stepped into the self-esteem to dream for me that wasn't tied to survival. And now he's doing well for what he wants to be doing. And so there's a release. And my second son, he is 16 going on 17, and he's a junior this year. He'll be a senior next year. And so it's, hey, who are you? What are your aspirations beyond surviving? Because, to be honest, the most radical thing that I feel I can say as a black woman is I'm a black feminist, yet black feminism is rest. Black feminism is pursuit of things that are joyous without ties to monetary gain. A relaxing of the caring role. Because, and again, this is as a black woman, because that's a paradigm I can speak from. As a Black woman, I come from generations of women who were variations of mammies. One great grandmother, she did laundry and she cooked for people. Another one, laundry and cooked. Grandmother, raising other folks' kids. There was not a lot of rest in other grandmother worked in the chicken plant. Retired from it. Another grandmother, she did some type of factory work-ish. I don't think it was truly factory. I know she did something within the factory, yet she retired from it too. Yet there was not much rest in life. And as I approach this next phase of life, where my sons are taken care of in a different kind of way, there's not a constant need in the same type of way. What will make my heart sing? What will bring me joy? What will pour into the safety that is within myself? What relationships do I nurture around me that foster greater safety, greater joy, greater energetic exchange, greater love, honest feedback, integrity? I aspire to live a different life now. And honestly, I challenge you to figure out who you want to be outside of just taking care of, and encouraging your children to not pursue survival, yet pursue purpose. Before they have children that potentially could lead to survival. I encourage you to reflect. 2025 was not easy for everyone yet. Reflect. Reflect on how you made it. Reflect on the things that worked and the things that didn't. I sacrificed a lot of myself last year. I stayed in a lot of situations that just beat me up. Not doing that this year. You can have it. Also, so I come from a military family. That is the first print my father ever framed. Anyhow, he's no longer with us. He was killed in action. And so, not recently yet. So I say all of that to say, I would be remiss as a daughter of a fallen soldier, as a sister of 2 veterans, as the niece of 2 veterans, as the great niece of some veterans, all up and down. All up and down. My family is a military family, and I didn't realize how much of a military family we were until recently. So I would be remiss if I did not mention Maduro. Um, I have no desire to mention that man's name, so I'm not going to. Okay, so we're gonna start there. Um, that's my black angel back there. My tree's not down. I have a pretty little black girl on top of it, and it makes it really hard for me to take it down every year. And I think it's the funniest thing yet. I love looking at her. She's holding a star. This year, my tree is really pretty with pink flowers and purple flowers. It's different. This year was a different year, and I went head into that. Squirrel, I'm back. So, now that I'm back, I was a political science major. So, um, so when there is military action of any kind, especially in another country, well, no, when there's military action, when the armed services are about to go and do something, there is a committee that gives the okay for said such. Why is there a committee? Because said committee reviews all of the evidence prior to that, so that um, so that um, it there's no way that it can be considered a war crime, and our head of state can be potentially brought up on charges by The Hague, which is an international court that I don't know how many countries, most countries who are involved with the UN have agreed to respect their authority. Um, that is not what happened. These are a few of my favorite things. So, that's not what he did. He gave an order to the United States military to remove another country's sitting leader. There's been several memes saying, is this what it felt like when Iraq happened? No, it wasn't. This is not what it felt like when Iraq happened. And that would be because that committee was consulted, given bad information, and they agreed with it. And so, lawful order. So they said yes because it's something called checks and balances. And the checks and balances work so that our executive branch cannot target people on a whim, and can be seen as impartial. So they have some deniability. In this administration, there's no respect for the rule of law. The rule of law only applies to those who aren't in his political party. And, well, actually, it's not even his political party because he don't care about them either. Like, you have to be a part of his cult of personality in order for him to give you the okay to ignore the law. Yeah. So, so that was illegal. I'm grateful that I journaled prior to coming on here. I journaled last night instead of recording a video because it allowed me to say a lot of things and to be a lot more level-headed today. Venezuela has the largest oil reserve. China just spent $1 billion buying some of those oil reserves. So there's that. That was prior to Maduro being deposed, or flown out, and they also chose to fly out his wife. I feel like I'm living in a bad 90s. No, yes, yeah, no, this is a bad 90s political movie. And that's because Harrison Ford always managed to act with some semblance of integrity. And he would right the ship and all of the things. And there was always some monologue about the people or something like that. There wasn't... Also, Venezuela is a very mineral rich. Apparently, there's gold there as well. So there's that. I would love to go on and on and on. Yet, how I started today's video is a vein that I would like to stay in. What I will say, tying the political thing of Maduro being kidnapped from his country. That's what it was. He was kidnapped. He was kidnapped by someone who has no problem with child trafficking. So, anywho, so along those lines, to anyone who is experiencing worry and dis-ease, I'm not going to tell you it's going to be all right, because I don't know that it will be all right. What I do know is taking care of you is the most important thing that you can do right now. Take care of you well. Eat, drink water, shower. Get off of social media if it's too much. And or shift your algorithm if you have to. And from there, once you feel like you're feeling like yourself, love on your friends, love on your family, become active in your community, find a soup kitchen, community center, go to a nursing home, volunteer, something like that. Be highly active in your community. Have conversations with people. All of the various things that are going on in Washington that you don't agree with, call your senator. On the next video, I will make sure I have that phone number. And do not be discouraged, because I feel that was the point of 2025, to discourage us with the process. No, I don't feel that we're fully in the democracy that I loved. And, it's my father's fault. He reenacted the Battle of Fort McHenry when I was 5. And as he was reenacting it, he spoke the words to the Star-Spangled Banner to teach it to me. So, my grandfather and my great uncle were having a conversation about the Constitution and, do we need to rewrite it, and do we need to completely scrap it and rewrite it? And I walked in and they were like, Shay, you're a political science major. What do you think? And I said, well, the preamble is a love letter. And they just paused. And so, I'm going to pause on that too. Because I keep saying to myself, it is a love letter that is currently being walked on by men who have never written a love letter. To be loved well, to experience love, to give yourself that type of love is to understand that the Constitution, we the people hold these things to be self-evident. Just that line, it makes I feel myself about to cry, so I'm gonna stop now. Maybe I will record a video of me just reading the first portion of the Constitution because it's beautiful and it meant something. And I said meant past tense because I don't believe that we've been educating our children in a way I have brothers who, all my brothers are younger than me. I have brothers who are younger than me who I know don't see the Constitution the way that I see the Constitution. Not because they're not smart, just because there has been a concerted effort to butcher our education system and create workers. Workers and not thinkers, because thinkers will fight, which I feel like it's on millennials right now. And the sad story in the midst of this is I don't know if Gen Z can really be reached because they've been, I don't know, just a random, I'm still talking and here we are. Yet, I love you girl. I love you all. Reflect on how you can better love yourself. Reflect on who you want to be when you wake up in the morning. Because the world deserves a kick-ass version of you. Day 4 of 365. Talk to you later.